Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator,
And I'm Trenton Bennett, and I'm also an audiobook narrator.
and we are here to share what's on our minds in the art and industry of audiobooks. Trenton had some great ideas for this week's topic, and I leave it to him.
Some of the fun auditions that we had this week, every once in a while, Matt and I compare notes on what we did and what did you think, or what are the choices you made, just because it's a fun exercise. How did you try to do that? And some of the ones that came in this week were pretty well put together. And I say that because there was one I did a couple weeks ago where the author had actually tweeted, "I've never listed an audiobook before. Let me know how I did." And I thought, well, that's really kind of them because they actually did a pretty good job. And I tell you this not to say, well, if these things aren't there in the listing for the narration, then it's not a good book. No, that's not it. It's just these are nice little things that make it so much easier for us to really get the spirit of your book, given that we're only allowed a tiny sample and we're only going to narrate a little bit of it. And I'll give you a couple of examples. The first is it's really great when we see a note that says something along the lines of, okay, these are the characters, this is what's happening in this scene, and this these are like this. Like, for example, they're very afraid because they're not supposed to be on this spaceship, or they're very concerned because they don't want their secret to get out. It helps
Mm.
build a background for us that when we perform the scene, we know what's built up to this point and we give a better performance. The
Yeah.
other bit, of course, is the little notes of the age. Well, this person sounds like they're in their 20s.
Mm. I also one thing that I appreciate is when authors give comparisons to YouTubeable characters or actors.
Yes.
The other thing that I'll just say as a quick hack for authors or rights holders who are putting a book up for audition, a standard audition time is about 5 minutes or less, but about 5 minutes gets a good sample of what the person is going to sound like, and gives you a chance to get a scene that has a nice arc to it and has some major character voices in it. Um, Here's the hack. How much text makes for 5 minutes? Between 800 and 850 words. If you keep it to about that long, then you're really doing a nice thing for the narrators and just giving them just enough to sink their teeth into without overwhelming them, and you'll get more auditions, I bet.
That is a really good tip, Matt. Yes, because some of these go a little bit long, and every once in a while you get one where they've just uploaded the entire manuscript of the book and said, pick something, and we can't read 300 pages and figure it out. In fact, to build upon that a little, Matt, I love when a rights holder or an author has given us a passage that really represents the core of the book. And one of the
Mm,
ones I did, there was more than one scene. They were all really small, but they said this one represents approximately 60% of the book. And the voice in this one is probably going to be the narrator that carries most of the story. So I'm like, oh, now I know. That helps
right.
me say this has more emphasis to it than these.
Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. Give a sense of the, like, almost like what your later retail sample of the book would be, if you were to choose it, which, hey, can save you work on the other end of production. All right.
Exactly.
Well, I'm Matt Haynes,
And I'm Trenton Bennett.
and as your narrators and teachers of narration, I hope that our voices and your ears meet again real soon.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Matt.